Robyn and Kody had a very long courtship compared to the rest of us. It is not really appropriate for a married man to have a long courtship. So they actually courted, I think, for almost like a year.
It all began with a quiet murmur, a single comment buried in a sea of gifs and sarcastic emojis on a random Facebook fan page. Did anyone else notice Kody's net worth is plummeting? It had no wink, no proof, but somehow, within hours, that offhand remark caught fire. The rumor mill kicked into overdrive, whispering that Kody Brown, once the king of the polygamous empire worth millions, was now silently losing it all. And the name at the center of it all?
Depth of connection. She's very vulnerable, and I was at the time, and there was a depth of connection that I.
The so-called favorite wife, who'd long been blamed for tipping the family's delicate balance, was now at the heart of whispers about draining what little remained of their shared fortune. And Kody? Well, insiders claim he wasn't just standing by. Allegedly, he was right there, actively enabling it, cutting assets, refinancing properties, tapping into emergency funds, all to keep Robyn's spending habits from spiraling out of control. The numbers are still unverified, but here's what we're hearing from those closest to the situation.
Thank you.
That's just adorable. Good job,
Yeah.
Mom.
Kody's personal net worth, once hovering around $1 million, has reportedly taken a sharp dive, one that didn't happen gradually but almost overnight. While most families would be scrambling to tighten their belts, one person in the Brown household allegedly hasn't flinched. Robyn's been spotted in brand new boutique clothes, driving what looks like a freshly bought SUV, and having lavish home decor delivered, just weeks after fans noticed some curious shifts in the Coyote Pass property records. Coincidence? Maybe, but for those paying attention, it's starting to feel like a trend. And it's not just about the material things.
Has always been separate up until Christine and Janelle chose and asked to be out of the family financially.
Sources claim that Robyn has been pushing for everything: upgrades, new furnishings, appliances, even a private playroom renovation for the kids. And instead of drawing the line, Kody, allegedly, is liquidating more and more of their long-held assets to keep saying yes. One insider even whispered that Kody recently had a private meeting at a Flagstaff title office. No cameras, no wives, just one-on-one paperwork that could be hinting at a cash-out deal. It's all still unconfirmed, of course. But with all the whispers and the sudden silence from the rest of the family, fans can't help but ask, how much has he already sold off, and how deep does this financial hole really go? Because if the rumors hold any truth, this empire isn't just cracking, it's on the verge of collapsing. And that's when the receipts started to show up, making everything even messier. They say money talks, but lately it's been shouting from Robyn's driveway. First, the SUV. Fans, with their eagle eyes and zoomed-in screenshots, swore they spotted Robyn behind the wheel of a brand-new champagne-colored Escalade, easily retailing well over $80,000, depending on the trim. No dealer plates, no basic model. This wasn't some hand-me-down or bargain find. No, this was a power move on 4 wheels. And for a family supposedly struggling to stay afloat after multiple separations, canceled shows, and falling real estate profits, it raised more than a few eyebrows. Especially when just weeks earlier, viewers watched a heartbroken Janelle agonize on screen over whether she could even afford to keep her trailer on Coyote Pass through the winter.
That were to happen, if somehow we came in and bought the debt, we would make sure Mary got her share and Robyn and Kody could take.
But the SUV was just the beginning. Rumor has it, Robyn's recent spending spree didn't stop at the car. Someone who supposedly worked at a Flagstaff interior design firm claims Robyn placed custom orders for furniture and home decor worth nearly $40,000. While it's hard to confirm, it matches the odd sightings outside her home. Delivery trucks coming and going, a white Dash Love team setting up something massive on the second floor, and a new security system installed on the front porch. For anyone who's been following the family's financial drama, it wasn't hard to guess what was going on. Robyn was allegedly remodeling again. There's even talk of a hand-carved dollhouse, built to match the architectural style of their home, rumored to cost over $15,000. And that doesn't even include the dolls, many of which, according to fan forums, are collectible editions from Ashton Drake or Franklin Mint, easily going for hundreds of dollars each. It all adds up quickly, way too quickly, say those close to Kody. While Robyn's children seem to be living in a curated wonderland, insiders claim the rest of the Brown kids, especially the ones from Janelle and Christine's side, are quietly tightening their belts. One source even says one of the kids skipped the senior trip due to financial cutbacks. These purchases? Robyn hasn't publicly acknowledged them, of course. But Kody, he hasn't denied a thing. And the silence, paired with a pattern of luxury only flowing in one direction, has turned suspicion into outright fury among longtime fans. It's not just the money, it's the message. While one wife enjoys the perks, the others seem to be facing scarcity, stress, and sacrifice. Then things took an even more suspicious turn. Just as Robyn's spending appeared to rise, Kody started unloading assets fast. What he allegedly gave up next sent shockwaves through the family. Sources connected to the Flagstaff real estate scene claim that something strange happened with Kody's holdings in the spring. One by one, the parcels tied to the Brown family trust began changing hands. Some were refinanced, others quietly marked for sale, and a few even vanished from public listings. Fans watching the Coyote Pass land were the first to notice. "It's like he's scrambling for liquidity," one real estate blogger wrote in a viral thread. And if the rumors are true, that's exactly what was happening. Sources say Kody's been offloading or borrowing against every piece of property he can, funneling money into Robyn's household to keep their extravagant lifestyle going. The biggest red flag? A reported equity loan taken out on the home Robyn and Kody share, allegedly under a revised marital asset structure. There's been no official confirmation of this, but some fans claim a new lien appeared on the property just days after Robyn's SUV was first spotted. Coincidence? Maybe. But it aligns too well with a separate rumor that Kody cashed out part of his retirement savings to cover household expenses when TLC payments slowed down. One source close to the family put it this way:
I
"It's
never
like
really
he's
had
selling
much
the
of a
kingdom
relationship
to
with
protect
Robyn.
the
I don't-
queen." That
I don't-
same source claims
don't have
Kody
any
even considered
hate or
liquidating
hard
a life
feelings or anything.
insurance
I just don't really
policy
wanna know that.
meant to
But if
support all of his children equally in the event of his death. Yet, if these backdoor deals are true, the benefits appear to be flowing in just one direction. Insiders say not a single dime of these alleged funds has been used to help Meri, Janelle, or Christine, or their kids, some of whom are working full-time while finishing college or raising children of their own. The irony is brutal. Kody spent years preaching about shared sacrifice, collective responsibility, and building one big family. But now, the perception is that he's dismantling the legacy he once swore to protect, all to fund one part of that family while leaving the rest to fend for themselves. And it's not just real estate. Unverified reports suggest that Kody's also been looking for private buyers for several classic motorcycles and collectibles he's shown off in the past. Anything that isn't bolted down or emotionally irreplaceable might be on the chopping block. The kicker: some think this isn't even about supporting Robyn's lifestyle anymore. It might be about image. Robyn's home, her car, her wardrobe, they're all part of a desperate attempt to project control and status, all while the walls quietly crumble behind them. And when the other wives found out just how far Kody had gone to keep Robyn comfortable, that's when, allegedly, the gloves came off. If there was ever a moment when the cracks became gaping chasms, it was when the other wives found out what Kody had sacrificed to keep Robyn in the lap of luxury. Sources close to Janelle say she was blindsided when she discovered Kody had refinanced part of the Coyote Pass land that was supposed to be their shared retirement dream. One insider claimed that Janelle didn't find out about the refinancing from Kody himself, but rather from a tip-off by someone working at a title office. And let's just say, she didn't take it well. Janelle had spent a summer sweating through triple-digit heat in that tiny RV, desperately trying to hold on to her piece of the family's dream. To learn that it might have been secretly mortgaged to fund another woman's lifestyle? That, allegedly, was the last straw. Christine, too, was reportedly outraged. Even though she's technically out of the marriage, sources say she was still blindsided by the news that Kody might have touched assets that were once considered communal, especially if that money was supposed to support the children. According to someone close to the situation, Christine is now watching the financial moves closely to make sure nothing affects her daughter's rightful share. This same source also revealed that Christine has kept every legal document, every account summary, and every email promise made during the divorce negotiations. She's not naive, she's prepared to act if things start to get shady. And then there's Meri. While she's always been the quietest of the original three, insiders say she's far from oblivious. In fact, some suspect she's been consulting a financial advisor behind the scenes to ensure she's not left holding the bag for any communal debts tied to the Brown family name. Meri's name was on some of the original business and property paperwork, and even though her personal relationship with Kody dissolved years ago, if Kody's moving money around or restructuring ownership to support Robyn exclusively, it could have ripple effects that Meri can't afford to ignore. All of this alleged maneuvering has left a bad taste in the mouths of many of the Brown kids. One unverified Reddit post from someone who claims to have direct knowledge of the family said some of the older children are furious, especially the boys. They feel like their futures were traded for doll houses and designer handbags, the poster wrote. Whether that's true or not, it reflects the sentiment shared by many fans who've watched this play out for years. The imbalance between Robyn's household and the rest has finally boiled over into open resentment. What's most heartbreaking is how fast the fallout seems to be spreading. The land is being carved up, the money is being redirected, and Kody, according to those closely watching, isn't just ignoring the consequences, he's allegedly doubling down. But what happened to the kids' futures next? That's what really lit the fuse, and it might be the one thing even Kody can't control. The money trail may have started with land deeds and Decker, but it didn't take long for the consequences to land squarely on the kids. Specifically, the older children who once believed their futures were secure thanks to the sacrifices their mothers made during those chaotic early TLC years. But according to sources close to the family, those dreams are disappearing fast. One particularly heartbreaking rumor suggests that a college fund set aside for several of Janelle's and Christine's children has either been paused or outright drained. There's no official paperwork confirming this, but fans notice something strange. The Brown boys, who had planned to enroll in out-of-state programs, allegedly changed their plans at the last minute, not by choice. According to a person familiar with the family's inner workings, one of the sons was told there simply wasn't any money left. No details, no explanations, just a dead end. The same source claims that when Janelle pressed Kody for answers, she was met with deflections and vague promises about future planning. Meanwhile, spending at Robyn's home never seemed to slow. From catered birthday parties to another rumored shopping spree at an upscale Flagstaff boutique, the flow of funds has looked suspiciously one-sided, at least from the outside looking in. It's not just tuition. One unverified, yet persistent rumor, allegations that Christine's daughter, who underwent serious spinal surgery, had post-op treatments denied reimbursement through the family's shared health plan. Christine reportedly covered the costs herself, with help from supporters and a quickly taken-down GoFundMe campaign after public backlash. While none of this has been confirmed by Christine herself, the whispers haven't stopped, and the implication is clear. While Robyn allegedly spends thousands on sentimental decor and emotional needs, medical expenses for the other kids may be slipping through the cracks. Then came the social media clues. Wendlyn, in a now-deleted comment thread, hinted that some of the things her siblings were promised had mysteriously vanished after a particular financial shift in the family. While she didn't name names, many fans interpreted the comment as confirmation that something was happening behind the scenes, something affecting the next generation far more than the original Four Lives ever anticipated. What makes it harder to stomach is the silence. Kody hasn't gone on record about any of this. Robyn, as usual, has stayed out of the spotlight when it comes to money talk, but fans aren't buying the innocent act anymore. For every post of her cozy by a glowing fireplace, there's another Brown kid allegedly working 2 jobs just to pay rent. That growing divide, it's not just emotional, it could soon turn legal. Because what's coming next could pit the Brown family against itself in a way they never saw coming. Whispers about money troubles are one thing, but whispers backed by mounting debt, that's when people start to pay attention. According to 2 separate fan investigations on Reddit and Facebook, public financial records tied to the Brown family suggest their credit card balances are growing out of control. One sharp-eyed sleuth even claimed to have found evidence of multiple late fees and penalties linked to a shared business account once used by the Browns during their TLC heyday. While the Browns themselves haven't confirmed these details, the timing matches up a little too well with Robyn's recent spending spree and Kody's alleged asset sell-off. Insiders now fear the family is caught in what some are calling a slow-motion debt spiral, the kind that sneaks up quietly until one day, the bills come crashing down like an avalanche. The theory goes something like this. With fewer revenue streams than ever before, no new seasons of the show, no functioning group businesses, and multiple households no longer contributing, Kody and Robyn might be relying heavily on credit just to keep up appearances. One family friend alleged that the couple has opened at least 3 new lines of credit in the past year alone, including one linked directly to an online luxury goods retailer. That same source also claimed that interest payments alone have become unsustainable, forcing Kody to make only minimum payments while diverting other funds from what was supposed to be their joint family trust. And if that wasn't concerning enough, there's the mortgage. Public property records show that Robyn's Flagstaff home was refinanced recently. Now, refinancing isn't inherently suspicious, but the terms? That's where things get tricky. A new 30-year loan at a higher interest rate in today's economy raised alarms, especially when paired with the sudden appearance of a second lien, a sign that the homeowners might have tapped into a home equity line just to stay afloat. And if you're wondering what happens if those payments lapse, let's just say the bank doesn't care whose name was on the original show contract. Insiders are reportedly getting nervous. Not just the ex-wives, but also the kids, who might inherit more than just emotional fallout from the choices being made today. Several adult children have allegedly begun meeting privately to discuss whether they could be held liable for old business debts or property tax burdens registered under now-dissolved LLCs. There is even talk that a former family accountant has been brought back in to sort out what's still owed and who's on the hook. If this financial spiral continues, fans fear it could end in legal action, not from outside creditors, but from within the family itself. Imagine Janelle, Christine, or even one of the adult kids hiring lawyers, not out of spite, but out of sheer necessity. That's the nightmare scenario some insiders believe Robyn's been trying to avoid. And it all started with one shocking move that even her harshest critics didn't see coming. If Robyn thought she could diffuse the rising tension by keeping her head down, if she clearly underestimated just how loud silence can be, instead of calming things, her quiet demeanor and perfectly curated image have only thrown fuel on the fire. When she allegedly made her boldest financial play yet, cutting off access to the family's old PayPal account, everyone noticed. This account, according to longtime fans and former business records, was once used for shared family purchases, online income deposits, and even fan donations during the show's prime. But sometime recently, insiders claim Robyn changed the login credentials and didn't tell anyone. The lockout sent shockwaves through the Brown family's extended network. Janelle, who had reportedly relied on that account to split certain communal costs in the past, was said to be absolutely livid when she discovered she could no longer access it. One person close to her claimed that Janelle tried to transfer funds for a shared property expense, only to be met with a password error. No warning, no explanation, just a digital door slammed in her face. Christine, ever the one to keep her cool in public, reportedly reacted with icy silence. But privately, sources say she's now convinced that Robyn is deliberately trying to erase the last remnants of financial unity to consolidate control. And it didn't stop there. That same source added that Robyn's name now appears solo on several online shopping receipts that used to be sent to a shared household email. What this suggests as a deeper shift, not just controlling the money coming in, but managing how and where it goes out. Fans spotted a few of these receipts leaked on message boards, including one for a bulk order of high-end skincare products and another from a doll collector's site, totaling over $1,000. It's not that these purchases are illegal, but the secrecy, this sudden gatekeeping has everyone on edge. In a fan, a cast of Kidney, from the natural well-being saving was bald in the city, and nothing but the play from the med side. And that betrayal is sparking backlash, not just inside the Brown clan, but across the fan base. Reddit threads are exploding with fury. One top comment reads, "This woman is spending like she's on Real Housewives, while the rest of the family is stuck in a Dave Ramsey nightmare." Others are now calling for a full forensic audit, demanding that someone, anyone, hold Robyn and Kody accountable for how they allegedly handled the family's shared resources. Some believe the motive is fear that Robyn saw what was coming. But if that's true, she might be too late. What fans didn't expect was how loud the public reaction would be. The fury that followed wasn't just confined to Reddit. It began with a few sarcastic TikToks, fans stitching old clips of Kody boasting about providing for his wives with footage of Robyn unpacking luxury handbags. But it didn't stay lighthearted for long. Within days, the outrage spread across every corner of the internet. Twitter threads went viral. Facebook groups exploded with speculation, and even casual viewers who hadn't watched Sister Wives in years were chiming in with disgust. The central question became, how did Kody let this happen? How did a man who once preached unity and equality end up overseeing what many now see as a full-blown financial divide, allegedly helping Robyn's spending spree at the expense of everyone else? One trending post contrasted screenshots of Robyn's lavish home with the modest living situations of some of the older Brown kids, asking, "Where's the equality now?" Another fan shared clips of Janelle in her RV, living off solar power and propane, captioned simply, Meanwhile, Robyn's getting her third interior redesign. The tone wasn't just judgmental, it was furious. Viewers weren't just reacting to fashion choices or redecorating preferences, they were reacting to a deep emotional betrayal. After watching these women share everything for over a decade, fans now feel they've witnessed a slow-motion implosion, $1 at a time. Petitions even began circulating. One Change.org petition demanded that TLC refuse to renew the show unless full transparency around the Brown family finances is provided. Another, with thousands of signatures, called for an investigation into alleged misuse of business funds tied to the now-defunct jewelry venture that Robyn and Meri once promoted together. While these petitions likely won't result in legal action, the sheer volume of public interest shows just how deeply people are invested, not just in the drama, but in accountability. And it wasn't just strangers online. According to a well-placed source in the reality TV community, at least 2 former TLC crew members have privately voiced concerns about what they witnessed during production. While neither has spoken publicly, one reportedly told a friend it was clear by the final seasons that only one household was being protected. That insider hinted that several former production staffers might be willing to speak out if given the right platform. All of this has reportedly rattled Robyn more than anyone expected. Insiders claim she's become more reclusive, allegedly refusing to attend family gatherings or even respond to messages from her older stepchildren. She knows she's become the villain, one source said. But instead of trying to mend things, she's reportedly pulling up the drawbridge. Kody, meanwhile, is said to be defensive and volatile, pushing back on any suggestion that he's mismanaged the family's finances or shown favoritism. But his lack of visible support for his other kids and his continued silence while Robyn's lifestyle flourishes, that, fans say, is the answer. And just when it seemed things couldn't get worse, whispers started about lawyers. Not threats, but actual serious legal inquiries coming from the people Kody least expected. If there's one thing Kody never imagined, it was facing scrutiny from his own flesh and blood. But according to insiders, that's exactly what's on the table now. In the face of unanswered questions, unexplained account changes, and swirling rumors of misused funds, some of the adult Brown children are reportedly seeking legal counsel, not out of spite, but out of self-preservation. One family insider shared that a few of the older kids, particularly those who contributed to family businesses, lived on Coyote Pass, or were promised support for education and health needs, are now exploring whether they have legal grounds to demand accountability for assets they believe were misappropriated. And if that sounds extreme, well, so is watching your college fund disappear while your stepmother orders crystal chandeliers. What triggered this shift wasn't a single moment. It was the accumulation of too many unanswered red flags. The locked PayPal account, the rumored dollhouse renovations, the property transfers, the silent treatment. One source close to the family claimed that at least one child had been advised by a lawyer to request copies of any financial documents they signed as minors, particularly those related to past TLC earnings or shared property agreements. If Kody or Robyn used group earnings to fund private purchases without full disclosure, it could open a legal can of worms bigger than any. But this is the first time that Marcus completely cares about the idea of 7 top TLC earnings. Long breakouts. Christine, who's become somewhat of a quiet power player since leaving the family, is allegedly keeping very close tabs on the situation. According to one of her friends, she's already consulted with an attorney to ensure her share of past earnings or child-related expenses are fully protected. That same source added that if push comes to shove, Christine would absolutely go public with receipts, not to be vindictive, but to stand up for her kids. She's not afraid of Kody anymore, the source said, and she's not going to let him steamroll the next generation. Janelle, too, is reportedly considering action, but not necessarily in a courtroom. One insider claims she's gathering evidence, screenshots, emails, bank statements, possibly even planning her own tell-all. Not a memoir, but something more focused, a public breakdown of how the money was really spent. And Meri? She's been watching everything unfold from the sidelines, tight-lipped but alert. Though she's distanced herself emotionally, she still shares financial history with the Browns. If this goes legal, her name could end up on documents, whether she wants it to or not. All of this has put Kody in a defensive stance. Insiders say he's become increasingly paranoid, allegedly calling meetings to control the narrative and asking Robyn to slow down on her online shopping for the time being. But it might be too late. The narrative is already out there, And with receipts trickling into fan spaces and speculation boiling over, the question now isn't if someone will take legal action, it's when. And just when you think it couldn't get worse, there's one more twist. Another woman is reportedly getting ready to break her silence, and what she reveals could change everything. She's been silent for years, watching from the sidelines as the family splintered, the show spiraled, and public loyalty shifted like shifting sand. But now, according to sources close to the situation, one of Kody's former confidants is preparing to speak out, and she's not holding back. This woman, described by insiders as someone with deep access to past finances, is allegedly finalizing plans to share what she knows about the real money flow behind the scenes. While her identity remains under wraps for now, speculation is running wild that she could be a former assistant, accountant, or even a quiet co-investor from the early days of the Browns' TV fame. And if the rumors are true, she kept receipts. The buzz started with a cryptic social media post from an account that's long been linked to Brown family gossip. This account in the past has accurately predicted episode themes and family business shakeups. Truth always surfaces, the post read. And this time, it's backed by numbers. Almost immediately, fans began connecting the dots, digging through old business filings and revisiting long-forgotten episodes where obscure names flashed on LLC paperwork or behind-the-scenes credits. One detail in particular has fans on high alert: the name of a woman tied to an early jewelry venture that Robyn briefly ran with Mary, who allegedly helped set up the company's financial backend. If she's the source, the Browns could be in deep trouble. Insiders claim this woman has email chains, purchase orders, and tax documents dating back to the height of the family's TLC earnings. These aren't vague memories or he said, she said the dates. These are hard numbers, receipts, and side-by-side breakdowns of how the money was supposed to be distributed versus where it allegedly ended up, and her motives. According to one source, it's not about revenge. It's about vindication. She was made to feel disposable. The source said she watched Robyn rise while everyone else was written out, and now she's ready to expose what really happened. If this plays out, the fallout could be massive. Legal consequences aside, the reputational damage alone could shatter what's left of the Brown family. Robyn's carefully curated public image, already showing cracks, could completely implode. Kody, who's long relied on charm, misdirection, and spiritual justifications to weather scandal, may find himself facing something much more concrete than criticism: evidence. And the timing couldn't be wire. With renewed calls for transparency from fans, whispers of financial audits, and adult children demanding answers, this latest twist doesn't feel like the final straw. It feels like a match to dry kindling. So now, we turn it over to you. Do you think Kody's financial collapse has been a long time coming? Or could all of this still be spun as a misunderstanding? And if real receipts do surface, who do you think should be held accountable? Be sure to like, subscribe, and stay tuned, because the next video on your screen is waiting. Trust me, you won't want to miss it.